Welcome back. Wow, I was in here and then I had to exit out, y'all. But I'm big, I'm big, I'm big, I'm big. Gather myself real quick, light some incense and a candle. Hopefully, y'all doing well on this beautiful Sunday, this soulful Sunday. Today is day 3 of overcoming addictions. Today is the day I tell you a little bit about my journey from addiction to sobriety and why I wrote this ebook. So, bear with me as I'm still gathering everything, but thank you so much for joining in. Welcome, welcome as you come into the space. Baby, what's going on? Where is the lighter? I need a light. I need a light. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. So, now that I'm all settled, welcome to our 5-day Instagram live series, Overcoming Addictions. Okay, my name is Crystal Bolton, CEO and founder of Nubian-KreativGoddess, and I help women to overcome drug and alcohol addictions by strengthening their self-awareness so that they can break generational curses or cycles and heal trauma so that they can boss up, build on self-sustainability. Thank you so much for joining. Again, this is day 3 where I'm going to take you down the road of my journey from addiction to sobriety and why I wrote this ebook of mine, The Freedom Express, an 8-step guide to overcoming addiction, right? Or to kicking addiction, crossing the titles. The Freedom Express, an 8-step guide to kicking addiction to the curb. Excuse me. So my journey. Growing up, I grew up with parents who also battled their own demons and addiction. I started drinking as a preteen. I started really because, you're a preteen or a teenager, you're curious. It's present and you're like, And so that's where it began, right? It was like, I wonder what this is like. And it continued, though, because of grief. In 1997, my maternal grandmother transitioned. And that was a tough one because I can't recall exactly how long before she transitioned what was the last time we saw her. Does that make sense? I want to say, yeah, I can't recall, but I don't think it was that soon. I think we hadn't seen her in a little bit, and then she got sick. Like it felt like sudden, and was in the hospital. My mom got the call like, if you want to see her before she go, you need to hurry up and get here. And so she smashed out there to go see my grandmother, and she transitioned not too long after my mom got there. And so that was devastating. And I remember at her funeral, there was a lot of people who came to her funeral that started to transition after. I want to say there was 5 to 6 people or so who came to her funeral, and it was like this. I felt like how old was I at that time? Like 12 or 13. I felt like it was this domino effect. Like my grandmother passed, and then all these other people began to pass. And some of them were really close to me, and some of them not so close, but maybe I had known them my entire life. But one of those people was my aunt. In 1998, when I was supposed to be starting my freshman year of high school, I was not there for my first day because we were burying my aunt, and she had transitioned from cancer. And so that was rough going into high school, having dealt with, or I wouldn't even say dealt with, because again, I really hadn't dealt with the grief from my grandmother and the other people that had transitioned after that, the other loved ones. But this was like my aunt. This was like a little closer than some of the other people, because most of the other ones were like friends of the family. I still hold a place in my heart, but it's like my auntie and my godmom. She's my aunt and my godmom. We had a really close relationship, and so that hit me hard. And so I'm going into high school where I'm, really coming into myself, or supposed to be, but I'm already having been drinking and all the things, right? I'm already kind of developing those addictive patterns, right, with substances or whatever. At the time, it was just alcohol, and I smoked weed or whatever, right? But and I think I was smoking cigarettes and tobacco, and well, tobacco is cigarettes, but you get what I'm saying, like BDs. I don't know if everybody remember BDs. Those was back in the day. I think there was like $3. It was like a $2, a 20 pack or something. Anyways, I was smoking BDs, Black and Mild, cigarettes, just whatever, right? Dealing with all the stress with everything. That's what I was tapping into to, like, I wouldn't even say relieve the stress, but just to not feel it, because again, we talked about in the previous 2 days about the reward center in the brain and neural pathways and the dopamine that's released, and you get that, which is like 10 times greater when you use something like a substance. You get 10 times more dopamine released. That's what I was chasing. I was chasing that feel good. I didn't want to feel pain. I felt so much pain from the loss of loved ones. I didn't want to feel pain, so I was indulging in things that made me feel really good. And so, like I said, she died in 1998, and a few months after my aunt passed away, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was like, God, seriously, like you must got a sense of humor, but this ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? And I felt myself kind of getting angry. I felt myself, really going into this deeper, dark place. You know what I'm saying? Because I had just watched my aunt transition from cancer. Like, she was in my face, present. I was present when she made her transition, and watching and seeing her body decline. And if you or anybody who has seen a person of, a loved one transition or just become sick with cancer, you see the body changing and declining and deteriorating, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's really heartbreaking. And so I watched that happen with my aunt, and then my mom was diagnosed. I was like, God, I just seen my aunt's body just go through so much, her mind, her body, her spirit. I just watched her leave here, and then you're gonna take my mom. And again, remember I mentioned my mom also had her own addiction, so she was kind of in and out, in addition to having familial, things going to help take care of my grandfather after my grandmother had transitioned. So it was just a lot. And so at this point, she was here with us, but it was like, okay, God, we just kind of got her back. She's sober, she's present, and then you want to give her cancer? Like, seriously? Like, what in the hell? Like, I remember being so angry. And so again, that deepened my addiction. I was like, okay, well, I really started not giving a fuck. It was like, I don't give a fuck about shit. And it wasn't that I didn't really give a fuck. I did. I cared. But that was like my defense mechanism to, really not feel the pain and the hurt. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I went with it. I was like, look, okay, I'm going to just roll with, I'm hurt, but I'm not hurt, because I'm not going to tell nobody I'm hurt. I'm just going to act like it don't really matter, but it does. But this is going to be my defense mechanism for me to keep showing up in the world. So I just buried myself deeper into addiction, smoking weed. My drug of choice was always alcohol, so I kept going, drinking alcohol. In 2002, my mom passed. I was a junior, not a junior, I was a senior in, peace, welcome, in high school when she transitioned. And I remember dropping out. I actually dropped out of school right before I was supposed to graduate. And I ended up having to go back to summer school in order to complete my 12th grade year, because again, I buried myself deeper into addiction. My dad was like, look, girl, you're not about to be in my house doing nothing, okay? You're not about to be hanging out all night, drinking and partying, and then coming here and sleeping on the couch or wherever you can pass out. Like, we're not doing that. And I thank him for that, because it helped me to like redefine. And I mean, at the end of the day, I still struggle, but it helped me to redefine what I was doing, and it helped to shine a light on the fact that I needed to get my whole entire life together. You know what I'm saying? So I, decided, okay, well, he's right. I dropped out of high school. I need to go back. I need to do something. So I ended up going to summer school and was able to complete that in order to get my high school diploma, or else I would not have had it. But this still just took me over the cliff, even more into a deeper, dark place in addiction, right? But my addiction affected relationships with myself, the relationship with myself and that of others. It caused unstable employment because, again, the mental aspects of grief and losing loved ones and being in addiction and trying to balance all these things out, it was a lot and it was too much. And your girl was just like, this is, hey, I'm here, I'm working, and I'm not, and I just didn't give a fuck. Like, if a job or the manager was like, you're fired, I would be like, that's fine, I don't care. I didn't give a fuck because after my mom passed, I was like, that's just my motto. I don't give a fuck about shit. It don't matter. And so that's kind of how I moved through life. And it really began to affect my self esteem, my self worth, my confidence. You know what I'm saying? And my relationships that I was supposed to be making while I was, growing up through high school and stuff and early adulthood, it affected my ability to get close to people because I started to build up walls. I was like, look, people gonna die, so I'm gonna build these walls so that way when they die, I can control how I feel. Like, I can not be hurt. That's what I thought, and it worked until it didn't. But then it also didn't work, and I give gratitude for that part of myself that was born at that time to help me get from that place of hurt to the next level and the next level, because I probably wouldn't be here. There's so many people who battle addiction and it takes them smooth out of here. You know what I'm saying? I could have easily went all the way left and just dug myself a deeper hole and not been here today. But I'm grateful for the driving forces, the prayers. I'm sure I had lots of prayer warriors praying for me, like, girl, you need to get your life together. God, please help this child. Okay, help her bring it all the way back around, because she over there on the cliff, she about to jump off. And so I'm grateful for that, because eventually, here I am today. But in 2016, I had a scare. Now, I have not talked about this publicly. I actually wrote it in my book, and it was so uncomfortable. Even right now, like, my heart's racing a little bit, because, when you have to admit, like, certain things, it's like, damn, okay. But in January 2016, I OD'd, and I ended up in the ER. You know what I'm saying? I had a mini stint with drugs, and because I've always went above and beyond, over the board, never having, control. I mean, we talked about the last couple of days, especially yesterday, we talked about how the brain is affected and you're unable to control. You lose self-control and you lose the ability to make good decisions. I was going and going, and I used drugs in order to, because I felt like I needed something stronger. Alcohol just kind of wasn't working. It wasn't doing what it needed to do. And so I needed something stronger. And it's so funny because I remember growing up and being younger, and I want to say I was a teenager or something. I just remember being like, I don't see how people use drugs. Like, come on, how you gonna use drugs, man? If I'm over here, and the drink ain't working, I'm gonna get another bottle. And if that bottle don't work, I'm gonna smoke a blunt, and then I'm gonna smoke another blunt. And I just kept feeling like, there's just no way. Not me. Like, I'm not gonna use no damn drugs. The hell? That's how I felt. And it's interesting that I, sure enough, ended up using some damn drugs. Like I said, ended up in the hospital in 2016. Had a scare. My heart was not beating properly. Like, I literally saw my heart jumping like it was about to blow out my chest, and that shit scared the fuck out of me. I lost feeling in my legs. Everything went numb, turned white. I was like, oh my God. And so I knew at that point, I was like, I'm done. I was done. Like, it had only been maybe a few months, me like dibbling dabbling. I felt like this college kid who was, experimenting. Bitch, you are 30 plus years old. You know better. Get your life. That's, how I felt later. Like, you need to get it together, because you about to take yourself right out of here. Like I talked about yesterday when I was just talking about me using tobacco and I was smoking cigarettes. I'm literally putting a hit on my own head every time I go and buy these cigarettes. Every time I'm smoking. And at some point, I was increasing. I wasn't just drinking, smoking, a few cigarettes a day. I was getting to the point where I was damn near maxing at a pack a day, which was crazy. And so I just knew that, I had to do something different. I had to, because I wasn't going to be here much longer. But after many attempts to stop drinking, because the drinking kept going, you know, the drugs that came and it went as fast as it came, it went out because I almost took myself out and I was like, we're done. But the drinking continued. But as of August 4th, 2024, I hit my 4-year mark. And your girl is sober, okay? She's not drinking. And so I'm so grateful for that, because that battle was 20 plus years of, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna go, I'm stopping, I'm going, I'm stopping. Okay, I'm not gonna drink spirits, I'm only gonna drink beer, I'm only gonna drink wine. And okay, that's not working, so I'm going back to spirits. And each time, like I said in the previous days, it strengthened my resolve. I learned something new about myself each time I stopped drinking. It really helped me to learn more about myself and what I was struggling with and how to shift things. And eventually it finally took, because I didn't give up. And so I encourage anybody who's here now or watching the replay, if you are battling with any type of addiction, the first step is being honest that you have an issue, that it is a problem, and never giving up, no matter how many times you fall. You know, I remember growing up and seeing my mom, and she felt so much shame. She would be like, oh, you know, I messed up, and I'd be like, what? You know, that's not the exact word she used. I think she used some other word, but in hindsight, like now I realize she was trying to tell us like she felt bad because she went backwards. And it's like we are human, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and a part of the human experience in this meat suit, baby, you gonna mess up, you gonna knock your head between the washer and dryer a few times. But give yourself, you know, grace, be patient with yourself, love on yourself, have some compassion, and just keep going, because at the end of the day, peace, welcome, at the end of the day, it's like, it's hard. And if anybody was here yesterday and saw or watched the replay from yesterday, we talked about how difficult it can be battling addictions. You know what I'm saying? And so I am so very grateful that I have been able to move beyond those addictions, because it was not easy. And the only reason why I am here now at this point is because I kept going. I've stopped many times, I've continued many times, but I continue to not give up on the fact that I knew I wanted to kick the addiction. Okay, so like I said, I was smoking cigarettes, so I'm about 6 or 7 years in, no cigarettes. I'm not clear on the exact month, but the year is kind of foggy a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The brain on drugs does little weird things. Don't judge me, okay? But I'm about 6 or 7 years in, no cigarettes, 4 years, no alcohol, and January 2024 made 8 years, no drugs. So I've kicked cigarettes, alcohol, and drugs to the curb, okay? And it took me years to reverse the damage caused by childhood trauma and the addictions I turned to. And I'm still working through things, right? And I'm reminding myself every day to continue to be patient through the process and keep loving on myself and just move forward, because somewhere somebody didn't make it. Somewhere somebody else is still battling. Somewhere somebody else is wanting to try to do something different to kick these things, and they haven't been able to, right? They're wanting to try something new, but you know, to no avail. There seems to be nothing that's working. There seems to be no one to help them, right? It's been the most challenging life experience that I've ever worked through. You know what I'm saying? Becoming a woman without having my mom here. She passed when I was 18. So like, you know, the lessons that your mother is supposed to teach you as a woman to how to become a woman as you're growing up as a young girl, I didn't really get those. I mean, she was in and out, like I said, battling her own things in life. And so when I had my sons, that was tough. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a woman. You have your first child. You want your mom to be present to help you with that through the birth, through the rearing of your child. My mom wasn't here, and so I was really having to teach myself to become a woman, while also now, baby, you decided to have kids, so now I have children. So now I'm raising children. I have 2 sons, and I'm raising children while trying to reverse the damage of addiction, also while teaching myself how to become a woman, while trying to teach these young boys to be young kings. And it's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. And 3 years ago, this past October, my father transitioned, and I was 1 year into my sobriety journey, and there have been many times I wanted to just double back and like grab a bottle, like just to not feel that pain. You know what I'm saying? But I did not. I decided that I'm stronger than my struggles, and that I am powerful beyond measure, and I'm here on a mission, and I will not allow my past to dictate my future. You know what I'm saying? And so I wrote my book. Okay, I wrote this book because I truly believe in the African proverb, each one, reach one, teach one, which is really, it's just all about sharing knowledge and skills with others. Like, we all have something valuable to offer. Like I always say, we're all pieces of the puzzle, and as we come together, each puzzle piece completes the puzzle. Is if you come with your piece. If you don't come with the piece, then it's incomplete, right? So as we begin to integrate and embody what we've learned, then we teach it to others, and we are being the change that we want to see, and therefore positive change it has to emerge, right? So I've learned to strengthen my self-awareness by feeling into my pain, not burying it, because that's what I was doing with the substances. I was not feeling it. I was not focusing on it. I was choosing to completely act like it didn't exist and only seek pleasurable activities, which that's not how healing is going to come forward. It's not saying that you have to relive every trauma in order to heal it, but you're going to have to feel some things and go through some things in order to like move beyond it. In order to move forward, you got to go back. You have to. You can't just sweep it under the rug and act like it doesn't exist. And so I've learned that as I feel it and I strengthen my self awareness, I'm turning my pain into my passion. Okay, so I can fulfill my life's purpose and my soul's mission. This book is my offering, to the world to show that recovery is possible, healing is possible, and that I'm here to add value and assist you in overcoming your addictions and strengthening your self awareness as I have done. They say the best teacher is one of experience, and I've experienced it, and so therefore I can assist others. And so I'm grateful to have grown and have gone through my journey in life. Sometimes we get to feeling like, oh, everything is happening to me. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? But I know now that everything that I've gone through has helped me. It's happened for me to be able to stand in my power right now. And that journey that I went through, that I've just briefly described, is really me reclaiming my power as I sit with the things that I've done, that others have done to me, all the things, not pointing blame, because we realize that everybody's on their own journey and everybody has their own experiences in life. And so everything that's happened in my life is something that I agreed to when I came here. I incarnated here. I chose to be here at this time, this family, these parents, these experiences, in order to reclaim my power and walk into my life purpose and complete my soul's mission. And so I'm grateful for that. And if you or someone is battling addiction, definitely grab my ebook. It's a great, valuable resource. The Freedom Express, an 8-step guide to kicking addiction to the curb. The link is in my bio, and it pairs well with, whatever treatment plan you decide to do. I would highly do recommend therapy. If you are looking into NA or AA or SA or whatever it is that you may need, definitely do that. Grab the book. It's a great combination. I'm an advocate, like I said, for therapy. Some people don't like to, highlight therapy, but I've used therapy and it definitely can work. If you are with one therapist and they don't seem to be working, baby, go to another one. It's okay. Okay. But make sure you grab the bundle, because there are multiple assessments within the book, and you'll have aha moments, and you'll be creating plans, because as you're kicking the addiction, you want to start to create and develop new ways of thinking and being. You want to create schedules and kind of keep your life structured. Not kind of, you want to structure your life for success. And so this workbook that I've created to pair with the ebook is a great place to kind of keep all of it all organized and allow you to like really take your time with the book, and to just take your time with it. And if one place kind of keeps you there longer, honor that. Allow your spirit to guide you. I believe that in order to get through a problem, issue, trauma, whatever, you have to feel it in order to heal it. You have to acknowledge it at the root. And so that is kind of one of the assessments in the beginning of the book. Is like, hey, let's stop and let's ask ourselves, where did this begin and why? Why did I begin to dabble into these addictions? Why did I begin to, what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you fill in that blank. And so I really challenge you to, ask yourself that, to start to sit with that, because that can take you back. It can take you back, and that's good. You want to go back. But that's why I say talk to a therapist, some type of therapy will be very beneficial, because it can take you to a place that if you're not able to maneuver, navigate that dark space, like through the dark space, you can get stuck there, and you don't want to do that. We want to promote healing and continuous forward movement, and sometimes sitting in that, it's hard to navigate your way out. And so, like I said, I've gone through therapy. I've had therapy sessions that were really helpful. I've had some that weren't so helpful. And what I've learned, and also studying psychology and stuff in college, and just beyond, because I love to read anyway, so I'm always reading, books. I've learned that I'm powerful beyond measure, and so are you. And I've learned to, like, we have to really learn to trust ourselves and allow our spirit to guide us where where it's taking us, and it'll always take you where you need to go to get the resources that are going to be the most beneficial to you and for you. Okay, so I just want to leave you all with this affirmation before we go. I am so grateful again for everybody watching now, and for everybody who will be watching the replay later. I am so grateful to you for being here, for trusting me, listening to me, and trusting and listening to yourself and your own spirit. I'm so serious, because you are so powerful, and you are being called to do amazing things. Okay, no matter what has happened, no matter how many times you've fallen, continue to get back up. Never give up on yourself. Okay, so this affirmation is: I am stronger than my struggles, and each day I choose peace, freedom, health, and health. My past does not define me, and I am capable of creating a future filled with purpose and joy. I release what no longer serves me, and I embrace the power within me to grow and thrive. Okay, I have another one, because that was the one I shared yesterday, but I'm going to go back and say it again, because I feel like it's so powerful. I am stronger than my struggles, and each day I choose freedom, health, and peace. My past does not define me, and I am capable of creating a future filled with purpose and joy. I release what no longer serves me, and I embrace the power within me to heal, grow, and thrive. Today is December 15th. It is a full moon. This is a great time for releasing ceremonies. Something I like to do that I've learned to help with releasing is writing the things down that I want to release. Write it down and burn it. Okay, and give it back to the earth. Write it down, release it. Okay, and so if you feel called to, if that resonates with you, that could be, if you feel it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just sharing with you something that I've used and that works for me. And if you feel called to try it, I definitely encourage you to try it. But I want to share this other affirmation before we leave. Okay. And it's perfect, because it's still, again, right in alignment with the whole release, right? Because in order to rise, we have to release. We have to release what no longer serves us, or it just kind of weighs us down. And we don't want that. We want to continue to elevate one moment at a time, giving ourselves grace, having patience and compassion and love towards ourselves first and foremost, and showing up for us as whatever we need at the time. Instead of looking for someone else to provide what we need, we give it to ourselves. So I'm a big fan of affirmations. I love it. I love affirmations. I love affirming myself, because it helps to reprogram the subconscious mind. And so I release what no longer serves me, embracing healing with every breath I take. My strength is limitless. My voice is powerful, and I reclaim my inner light. I am whole, worthy, and unshakably aligned with my true self. Okay? I want to say that again. I release what no longer serves me, embracing healing with every breath I take. My strength is limitless. My voice is powerful, and I reclaim my inner light. I am whole, worthy, and unshakably aligned with my true self. Ashe. That is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I've got chills saying it. I had to just say it again. Hear my dog on in the background. Whenever he barking at. Go check him out in a minute. But this concludes day 3. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, same time, same place, where we will be discussing the importance of mindset in recovery. So I kind of talked about that briefly just now, about the mind and how powerful it is, and reprogramming the mind is, especially the subconscious mind, is a very important tool that you will need in order to continue forward on your journey to recovery, and just in life in general, as we heal traumas and break cycles and curses, as we strengthen our resolve, as we strengthen our awareness. You need to affirm yourself first and foremost. So again, this concludes day 3. Join us tomorrow for day 4. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Happy Sunday. Peace.